Hello, Vinyl community. How you doing? It's Bill with the Vinylverse. This is my entry into Noble Records 750 subscribers contest. Dylan, congratulations on all your subscribers. You're well over 1,000 now. That's amazing. That's awesome. Big congratulations to you. It's well deserved. Um, I've said it before. You are the hardest working vinyl collector there is. You're always on the road picking up collections. Uh, yeah, working full time, and then also doing your pop up business, and always getting thousands and thousands of records. Um, so you have a great YouTube channel. I really enjoy watching what you have to show and your stories. Um, and you're a good guy. So big congratulations to you. Thank you for this contest. Um, before I get started, I also have to thank you. A couple of videos ago, you showed a couple of copies of Pet Sounds that you came across. I pinged you asking if you'd be willing to sell me one of those, which you graciously did. So I received that. Very happy with this. Excellent condition. But not only did you send me that, you sent me 7 additional records. Totally unnecessary, but very much appreciated. 2 of these I'm familiar with, but the rest I'm not. So the first is this double album, the No Nukes concert. Had bands like the Doobie Brothers, Jackson Browne, Crosby, Stills, Nash, James Taylor, Springsteen, Tom Petty, Nicolette Larson, Poco, Carly Simon. So very cool to have that. The other one I knew is Tom Rush, The Circle Game. So like a folk record. Tom Rush, late 60s. Very, very cool. And then the remaining ones I'm not familiar with. So the Sandpipers, Guantanamera. Very interested to check this out. This is The Bunch. Looks like a bunch of 50s and 60s rock and roll songs, so very cool. This is Laura Nyro, Eli and the 13th Confession. So not familiar with her. Very interested in checking this out. Robin Trower, Misty Days, Long Misty Days. I've heard of Robin Trower before, but I don't have any of his work, so definitely interested in that. And then finally, Smokey Robinson, original music score from the motion picture Big Time. So not familiar with this, and very much looking forward to checking it out. So thank you very much. That, like I said, totally unnecessary, but very much appreciated. So, yeah, Dylan, you're a great guy. That was totally unnecessary. So your contest, 750 subscribers, which, like I said, now you're well over 1,000. You asked 5 questions, and this is all about your vinyl biography. Very cool contest. Very cool questions to get to know stories from people about their history with vinyl. So the first question is, pardon me if I look over here, I have the questions and some notes written down over here. So first question is, what was your first memory with vinyl? So we always had a record player in my house. So from a very young age, I was very interested in vinyl and music in general. So my first memories, we had a record, an LP with can't for the life of me remember the title of the record, but it had a bunch of novelty songs on it. So like Yellow Polka Dot Bikini, the Flying Purple People Eater, Monster Mash, stuff like that. So that is really my earliest memory. Is those songs, kind of like fun songs. But also we had Christmas music, and we had this set from Reader's Digest, and I always refer to this as our red Christmas set, and then we also had one that was blue. I think it was either blue or green. It was a dark blue or dark green, and I can't remember if it was also Reader's Digest or Time Life. But I remember every Christmas getting these out and spinning them on the turntable from a very young age, like 3-4 years old. This isn't our original one. When I first got back into collecting vinyl, I think our original copy of this had gotten chewed up by one of our dogs or something over the years. So I did search this out when I first started collecting vinyl, just for sentimental value. Got it for real cheap, and I was happy to have it. And now I do spin this at Christmas time. So those are my earliest memories, especially Monster Mash and Flying Purple People Eater and Yellow Polka Dot Bikini. Definitely remember those songs. So number 2, what was the first record you fell in love with? It's actually 2 records, and I'll explain in a second. Well, it's self-explanatory because it's red and blue Beatles. So when we got these, my family, I was the one that really just took over them, and I played them to death, especially this Blue album, 67 to 70. This is the original copy that we had, and it's really chewed up, and I don't dare play the records anymore because they are trashed. But yeah, I would play these to death. I'd lay on the floor with those big giant headphones with the cord that would go to the stereo, the kind of curly cord, and I would just stare at these albums. I read the lyrics on the inside, and I just absolutely loved them, and that was really where I just fell in love with the Beatles, and yeah, that's my first. Those are the first albums I fell in love with. So number 3, what records has great significance to you? So sticking with the Beatles, so from the Blue 1967 to 70 album, I heard a couple of these songs, but when I first heard Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, this is the first album that really, I guess, blew my mind. I had a childhood friend, a girl, and our families were very close, and we were around the same age, so we always played together. And her older brother, who was 2 years older than me, we were playing at her house one time, and he had this cassette laying on a dresser, and they had 6 kids, so they shared bedrooms and stuff, so I happened to be playing in his room and saw the cassette, and he told me I could borrow it. So I don't even know what age I was. 9, maybe 10, and wow. um, yeah, other than hearing Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band before, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, knew those songs, but from start to finish, I was blown away. I just absolutely loved it. When I put on side 2 and heard Within You Without You and those swirling sitars, and I had never ever heard anything like that before. So, like I said, this is the first album that blew my mind, so this is one of the albums that has great significance to me. Another one, I've shown it many times on my channel, Genesis, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. This is my favorite Genesis album. Absolutely love it. This was another one, when I first heard it, not having heard really anything from it, maybe the title track from the radio, but I'm not even sure if I knew that song. Again, I was blown away. This album is almost like one continuous piece of music. So the whole album kind of flows from start to end. The songs kind of flow into each other. And I just never heard anything like it before, and it had a profound effect on me. It was first time I listened to it, I immediately started it over and listened to it all the way through again. This is a double album, so that we're talking a couple hours worth of my time there. So yeah, so it's a concept album. Still don't understand fully what the concept is, but absolutely love this album, and this has a lot of significance to me. So number 4 is, what album did you spend the most on? Oddly enough, I just recently spent the most on an album. It's a holy grail of mine. Just came the other day, and it's Namo by the Max Roach Quartet. This is a promo copy. I've been looking for this high and low for a long time. I first saw this and heard about it from Teddy over at Eat Sleep Vinyl. Terrific channel. If you're not familiar, I'd highly recommend anyone go check out his channel. His videos are just well thought out and put together, and he's got a great presentation for his videos. He doesn't put videos out very frequently, but the quality he puts into his videos is worth the wait. So he showed this album and played a clip and talked about it, and I just knew I had to have it the way he was talking about it. So I streamed it online on YouTube and absolutely fell in love with it. Pardon me. I think I know Dave at Local Bandography showed this in his contest entry. I was in contact with him to see if he had any connections to where I could find a copy of this. It was hard finding it. It rarely turns up on eBay or Discogs. It's only a Japanese release, so it was only available in Japan. I even contacted many different record stores throughout the country, jazz-focused record stores, to see if they had copies that they were willing to sell, and never found one. So finally, eBay auction went up. Actually, pardon me. Actually, within a matter of days, there was 3 copies of this. And the first one, the auction was ending on one day, and I was the high bidder right up to 1 second before, and someone sniped it right out from under me. But luckily, another auction came up for this promo copy, and I won it, and it was $49. So I was expecting to pay even more than that. So I'm happy I got it for under $50, although shipping was $15 coming from Japan. So this put me out $64. But what a phenomenal record. This is one song that carries over from side one to side two. This is from a radio broadcast in Switzerland, recorded in October 1976, and this album came out in 1978. It's on the Victor label. Like I said, this is a promo. Robert Z, if you're watching, I pay attention to your videos. These little symbols in the box there, that means sample, which tells you it's a promo. So this one ties into both question 4 and 5. This is a holy grail of mine, and currently is the record I've spent the most on, which we'll say is $64, including shipping. So question 5 is, what's your ultimate grail? So I have quite a few things on my want list, but as far as grails go, there's a bunch. I mean, I'd love to have some original Blue Note pressings, like one that I'd love to have, and I don't have this record at all, is Johnny Griffin, A Blowing Session from 1957. Eventually I'll pick up a copy of that, a repress, but I would love to have an original mono pressing of that album, as well as Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers, Moanin', from 1958. Would love to have a copy of that. An original mono pressing of that. I do have a repress of that, and I would absolutely love to have a original Blue Note John Coltrane Blue Train from 1957, a mono recording. That would be insane to have those. That's far-reaching. Those records go for a lot of money. We're talking hundreds, and in some cases even close to thousands. Another original jazz record that I'd love to have is Blue Mitchell, Blue Moods from 1960 on Riverside. I don't currently have a copy of that at all, but I love that record, and I would, if I could get my hands on an original, that would be insane. So yeah, I got a bunch of grails. Like I said, they're far-reaching, probably, very lofty dream grails that I'll probably never even see, let alone own. Another thing I would love to have is an original UK press of Genesis Nursery Crime with their with the Pink Scroll Charisma label. That's worth some money as well. I've never seen in person the Pink Scroll label, but yeah, would love to have an original UK press of this album as well. Matter of fact, all the Peter Gabriel era Genesis albums, original UK press, would love to have those too. So that's the 5 questions, and then Dylan asked, or had a bonus, just asking the question, why do you collect vinyl? So I had vinyl all my life. And then, you know, CDs came in, so vinyl just kind of got put away, almost forgotten about. CD collection built up. Then digital came out, so CDs kind of went by the wayside. Got all digital. And then January 2016, I decided I wanted to get back into vinyl. Still had my original vinyl collection, thankfully. So dug that out, dug out an old record player, and got right back into it. So why do I collect it? Well, first, I just love the format. Being able to hold it, and the artwork, the liner notes, everything is just presented much better on a record. Vinyl sounds beautiful. It does have that warm sound, that that analog sound that you just can't get anywhere else. And it's what I grew up with. So I remember getting records from the library and coming home, laying in my bed and just like staring at the album cover and reading the liner notes while the record's playing. Just love the format, is the short answer. I just love the format. And there's something just invigorating and fun about going to a record store or just digging for records and seeing what you can find. And I guess that aspect you can still have with CDs, but I like it with records, just digging through. And yeah, records are where it's at for me. Vinyl's where it's at. So I think that's going to do it for my entry. Dylan, once again, congratulations. Over 1,000 subscribers. That is huge. You definitely deserve it. You deserve a ton more. Keep up the great work with your channel. I really enjoy it. Love you showing all that great vinyl that you come across. I don't know if you luck into things or if it's just your persistence and hard work that gets you all the good stuff, because you do get the good stuff. Love to attend one of your pop-ups one of these days. I do have family in Charlotte, so next time I'm down there, and if you have a pop-up going on, I'm going to make it a point to get to there. And even if you don't, I'll still hit you up and maybe we can sync up or something. So thank you for this contest. Thank you for those records and pet sounds. That's very, very nice of you. Very generous. So best of luck to your channel. Good luck to everyone who enters. It's a great prize package from Dylan. Very generous. 3 winners. First winner gets 5 records and a Noble Records t-shirt. I do have a Noble Records t-shirt that I forgot to put on. Actually, it's in the hamper, so I didn't plan that out properly. Second prize was 3 records and a t-shirt, I think. Yeah. And third prize was 1 record and a t-shirt. So I think Dylan's going to custom pick those 5 records based on your taste, maybe. So I think it's a great prize package, and it's very generous that you're offering 3 prizes instead of just 1. So thanks again for the contest. Everybody take care. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.